Anti-Afro Spengalis, I wanted to make sure I gave everyone an update regarding Antonio Johnson, DJ Jackass. Remember him? Well, you just might have forgotten he got the hell out of Dodge when he got cold busted. As you may remember or not, because we do know there is a huge memory problem in and around the Umar Johnson sector. They just love to forget the worst atrocities that were perpetrated, which they participated in. And DJ Jackass is among those who was participating in the atrocities. He had a whole gang of fellow demons gathered together on his page while he thought he was the shit. 80 to 85% of his content, he was talking about who? Can you take a wild guess? Just constantly would not stop. He went from, I'm not going to talk to anybody behind the scenes. I'm not going to do anything after I shut off this camera. I don't do anything with YouTube. You ain't none of my friends. Remember that? Oh boy, do we ever remember that? But the rug was pulled out from under him. And let me say something to that freak, disgusting, vile extortionist, pander slime. There is one positive side note to pander slime, who we have spared for one specific reason. He provided an immense amount of support that helped us bury DJ Jackass Antonio Johnson. Had it not been for Pander Slime, the extortionist, insulting the Al Show with the burning wheelchair, Antonio Johnson would never have been cited as a reason for getting fired because he used the burning wheelchair. Had he not used the burning wheelchair, it would not have appeared in the disciplinary summary. And where did the burning wheelchair come from? Pander Slime's page. You are lowlife. You are vermin. You are scourge of the earth. You are a self-hating freak. I don't care what your race is. Don't matter. Trash is trash, and you embody it. But we thank you immensely for you being the flunky who went ahead and got your slave master buried 6 feet under because he was dumb enough to take your content, put it on his page, and he got busted for it. So that's one of the sustained findings, how he ridiculed and denigrated and harassed, targeted, and abused those individuals with disabilities constantly on his live streams. I mean, just think about it. What the hell kind of probation officer would that be? Working with a population, very obviously with a significant number of unmanaged mental health issues, contributing to the situation that they're in, and assuredly physical disabilities. And he's sitting up on YouTube, mocking their deaths and burning wheelchairs where they go over cliffs. He thought it was funny. And Pander Slime thought it was funny. Well, guess who got fired behind it? Your handler. So that's good enough for us. See, when they don't even try, they end up helping us in so many ways. Let me tell you what's happening. The time has arrived. The process is underway to meet, discuss, explore, deliberate, and make a decision about whether or not what Antonio Johnson did rises to the level. Now, there's different levels. When someone goes before the board to determine whether or not their certification to remain a probation officer in the state of Georgia. They can decide whether the person's behavior warrants a punishment. And as you know, if there's a punishment or a sanction, that's wide ranging. That can cover any number of things. That can cover loss of pay, loss of vacation time, loss of work days unpaid, loss of points going towards promotion. It can result in a direct fine. It can result in a suspension. It can result in termination or revocation of that certificate. And what does that represent? If you have the certificate, authorization to be a probation officer, which is required in the state of Georgia, you need the certificate. You need the authorization. You need to meet the standards. If the agency determines that the certification and the guidelines which uphold the certification have been so horrendously violated that the person who agreed by signing on the dotted line and taking an oath with respect to abiding by these regulations and these edicts, if those violations are so extreme, the board will make the decision about whether or not that certification is to be revoked. Now, once it's revoked, they either will tell you not eligible for reinstatement or a certain number of years you can apply for reinstatement. They will decide. I'm giving my vote. No one who did what DJ Jackass did should ever again be trusted with any private database, with any sensitive database, with any confidential database. He looked up people in the system he wasn't providing services to. He was spying on people. He misused the credentials that he was trusted with and looked up those who were not on his caseload. And whoever believes they were looked up has a right to inquire and verify whether or not they were looked up. We already know they were looked up because it came out in the report. We already know he was never meeting a standard that he claimed to have been meeting a standard. Although he took those classes, what the hell was he doing there? I'll tell you what, he didn't give a damn. He can go through the motions to do anything. You can go and learn how to fly an airplane. Isn't that what they did with 911? The 9/11 tragedy? That's what they were saying. They wanted to go and learn how to fly a plane. They just wanted to fly the plane so it could be crashed into the Twin Towers. They didn't give a crap about landing it. They didn't really want to know about how it worked. They just wanted to get that bad boy, both of those bad boys in the air and run them into the Twin Towers. There are those who go into professions knowing the profession carries certain privileges, authority, and power, and they intend to exploit that power and authority to the mega max. And this is what Antonio Johnson did. He thought he was riding high, digging through people's records. He was so excited when Mona brought the information to him. He was over the moon. He had a whole new lease on life. I'm the boss. I got this information. But then the idiot posts the information online. The only reason why the finding was not sustained because I didn't get a chance to go and search the live stream that Binary made sure he verbalized what he saw, and the live stream where this idiot put the information up and he was talking about it. He was quoting from the Social Security bandit. They were in contact. It was obvious they were in contact. He did all of this ridiculing and harassing Rev G, me, AFW, friends and support. He had something greasy to say about all of us who exist basically just doing our thing. Never brought him up, never spoke on him, but he thought he had a right to say and do whatever he wanted. To hell with my responsibilities as a probation officer. Those responsibilities never end. They aren't supposed to ever end. But he made sure they ended. He thought he was so out of reach and so out of connection that nobody would be able to school him, to take him to task. All of this confidence just was oozing. He didn't have a clue as to what was coming down the pike because we didn't give blow-by-blow explanations. You want to continue thinking you can go down that road and everything's hunky-dory? Well, do what you're going to do. We're going to do what we're going to do. We are going to get access to this report 10 days after the decision is rendered. That's because they need to make sure it goes through the legal process. But you had better believe, once those findings are handed down and we get a copy, we are going to come back on and make damn sure you know exactly what happened to Antonio Johnson, DJ Jackass. Is he good enough to stay on or not? Should he ever be trusted with anyone on probation ever again in life? He should not. That is my vote for what it's worth. I say it's worth a lot. I say that's the time to impress upon the governor if for some odd reason he is not outright revoked. He lied under the course of the investigation. He was clean, cold, busted, and he knew enough to lie and try to get it out of it. He knew enough to lie in effort to try to skirt responsibility, but no more. The time is arriving essentially as we speak. Not going to give the exact date. Got the exact date. Not going to give it. Very, very soon. There is so much more, folks, I'm going to be bringing your way. I'm going to keep you updated on the Antonio Johnson situation. We need to get that credential revoked. He has no business whatsoever having access to people's sensitive information because he's proven to be irresponsible. If he's fired from being a probation officer, how the hell can he have a chance to go anywhere in the state? Who's to stop him from continuing the same behavior, just at a different office? He wasn't going to stop. The white man had to step in. He wasn't going to stop. He was going to keep on and on and on and on until he got a desired result. Not on our watch. We're going to get somebody involved if you're breaking the law. We're not going to take the law into our own hands. Always put it priority number one, to heed the warning. More to come, folks. Buyer beware.